So if you're going to visit someone who's living in shared accommodation or a visitor to anyone else's house, there's a couple of things that during the COVID alert levels that you need to do. So the first thing is, don't go and visit anybody if you feel unwell. And if you get symptoms that are suggested of COVID at any time, which are a new cough, sore throat, fever, runny nose, feeling generally unwell, shortness of breath, loss of smell, temporary loss of smell, strange one. Don't go and visit people, particularly important if people are older, because they are at very high risk of complications of COVID. So if you do feel unwell, and those are the symptoms that you have, we suggest you call Healthline or your GP and you get tested for COVID. And if the test comes back as negative, once you're feeling good again and all your symptoms have disappeared for 48 hours, then it would be fine to go and visit someone. But until you're sure and you're 100% sure that you're well, we advise that you don't visit. So when you go and visit, the organisation that you go to visit will want to collect information from you. And the purpose of this information is just in case there's COVID noticed or appears within the facility, or that the person that you're visiting gets COVID, then they will contact you to let you know, and they can put the appropriate precautions in place to stop the transmission. So the idea is stamp it out wherever COVID's found, stamp it out as quickly as possible, so we don't get any new clusters of COVID in New Zealand. So once you go to visit, you've filled in your contact details so they know how to get hold of you. You may be expected to, wash your hands before you go. That's a good idea. But also when you get to the facility, there may be hand sanitizers when you go there, and really strongly suggest and recommend that you use those. And then when you get to visit the person that you're going to see, you keep a bit of a distance. But if you haven't met them for a long time, you haven't seen them for a while, might be quite tempting to run over and give them a big hug. But we're sort of recommending that you keep a little bit of a distance and are a little bit cautious to begin with. But then enjoy your visit, but just keep a bit of distance. And you can spend, ideally, under 2 hours with someone is the time that would reduce the risk of spreading anything if anyone is unwell and you don't know about it yet. And if you keep a distance of 2 meters, there's no chance that person, or very limited chance that person can catch COVID at that distance. But if you do visit and you're well, just keep a little bit of a distance between you. But the other thing is there will be other people living within that shared facility, and it's a good idea to keep a distance from them too. And ideally, we're trying to keep groups that interact together to be smaller than 10. But you can kind of put little blocks in between those sort of bigger groups of people, if you like, by just keeping away from people that you don't really know and that you don't interact with on a regular basis.